Let's talk about the sneaky little monster ruining your marketing. And nope, it's not your intern's TikTok strategy. It's knowledge bias, also known as "I've been doing this for so long, I forgot how normal humans think." You know your business backwards and forwards. You know the features, the tech stack, the org chart, the three-letter acronyms no one outside your office understands. You think you're being clear, but really, you're just being confusing with confidence. Because here's the deal. Once you know something deeply, it's almost impossible to imagine what it's like not to know it. That's knowledge bias. And it's why your homepage reads like a cryptic poem, your pitch deck feels like a riddle, and your sales team is forced to translate your brand into something a breathing human being can actually understand. See, you're so deep in your own brilliance, you can't hear how muddled it sounds on the outside. You think you're explaining, you're actually overwhelming. You're not marketing, you're explaining your value prop to a confused stranger who didn't ask for it. This is why your leads vanish, why your bounce rate is embarrassing, why your cousin still doesn't understand what your company does, even after 3 family dinners and that one regrettable PowerPoint. The worst part, you can't fix this yourself. You're the problem. You're inside the mayonnaise jar, smugly assuming the label is obvious, while the rest of us are just trying to figure out if you're a tech platform, a life coach, or just a fancy sandwich spread. That's where a clarity audit comes in. A clarity audit is like therapy for your messaging. We strip out the jargon. We find the huh moments. We make sure your message actually sounds like it was written for your audience and not for a panel of buzzword judges, because here's a spicy truth. Being smart doesn't mean being clear. In fact, most smart companies sound like hot nonsense because they're trying too hard to impress and not nearly hard enough to connect. So if your website reads like it was written by a thesaurus on espresso, if your emails require a secret handshake to understand, and if your sales pitch makes even your own team question their life choices, it's not just a messaging problem. It's a you've lost the plot problem. And you can't fix this from inside the mayonnaise jar. You need an outsider, someone who hasn't been swimming in your acronyms and assumptions, to help you make sense to people who aren't already on the payroll. Time to stop speaking fluent insider and start speaking human. Time to climb out of the jar and wipe the mayo off your message. We can help you figure out what your audience actually hears before they ghost you for someone who just said it better. And remember, in a world of noise, clarity wins. If you aren't clear, you're on mute. For a deeper dive and a bonus checklist, use the link below to get our free companion Substack article. If you want more personalized advice, there's also a link to schedule an appointment. Until next time, stop talking, start communicating.